Hi Aries, welcome to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. Today is November 15th, 2019, and you are watching a general love reading for the middle of the month for the sign of Aries. It can pertain to any kind of relationship, romantic, family, friend, co-worker, exes, enemies, you name it. Situations and circumstances may also apply. Be flexible with the energy. You can interchange the roles within the reading. Don't be concerned about the gender of the cards or the pronouns that I'm using to describe them. Also, it could feel like I'm reading directly for you. It can also feel like you're cross-watching for somebody that you're dealing with. So I'm going to get started after a shuffle or two. I have pre-shuffled on my decks, Aries. I do want to share that yesterday was a special day because I hit over 100 subscribers. And I know that's not a big deal to most YouTubers. It is to me because I started this as just kind of a hobby, something fun for me to do. So gaining subscribers is kind of a plus for me. So I want to say thank you to all my subscribers and those of you who are considering subscribing. Thank you. I hope that my messages are well received, and more than anything, I hope that they're helpful. That's my intention. So I am going to get started. One more shuffle, Aries, and a cut, and we will begin your reading. Let's see what's going on for Aries today. Here we go. High Priestess in reverse in your underlying energy. Paired with the Tower in reverse. Five of Pentacles. Seven of Swords in reverse. The Page of Cups. Four of Swords in reverse. The Two of Pentacles in reverse. Paired with the Knight of Wands. So, looks like you might be faced with a situation where you may be regretting not listening to your intuition. That you may feel left out of a situation where maybe you're trying to help make things right. This feels like an emotional situation so far. So pertaining to a relationship, there is a sense that it might be too late to take action regarding something or situation you're in with somebody or a group of people. That maybe you remove yourself from the situation in order to avoid conflict, but now may feel a little regretful, like you wish you had taken action to make things right, or make amends or resolve conflict, because I think you're feeling right now that you might want to extend an emotional offer, maybe an apology, maybe just approach somebody to have a conversation, try to make things right, but there's a sense that maybe it's too late to take action. Maybe you missed the boat because you stepped out of the situation and time's up on coming back into the mix, maybe. Let's see what else we get. So clarifying the High Priestess in reverse, we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. Tower in reverse is clarified by the King of Wands in reverse. Five of Pentacles clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. Seven of Swords in reverse is clarified by the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Page of Cups clarified by the Star in reverse. Four of Swords in reverse is clarified by the Hermit in reverse. Two of Pentacles is clarified by the Four of Cups in reverse. And the Knight of Wands is clarified by the Page of Cups in reverse. Okay, I'm kind of getting more of the same energy here. Let me take a look at this a little bit closer. So, I do feel like the King of Wands is your energy, Aries. And there's a feeling like... like you removed yourself or stepped away from a situation because you didn't feel like you had control over it, or you didn't want to push the boundaries. You didn't want to step in where you felt maybe you weren't wanted, unsolicited advice, or maybe you felt like you were sticking your nose into something, and so, or you didn't have the power to fix things, or didn't feel like it was your place. There's something about it not being your place. But I don't think you were listening to your intuition. I think that you were avoiding. This is an avoidance energy. Like you were trying to stay out of something because you didn't want to deal with it more than not feeling capable of dealing with it. It was almost like if I step away, it'll disappear. If I remove myself, if I walk away from this, it'll get better by itself. And almost like if you ignored what went wrong, if you let go of what you know happened in the past, whatever negative events, this can indicate. Seven of Swords in reverse can indicate wanting to make things right because there were some past events where behavior wasn't so kosher, or words that were spoken were not necessarily the truth, or maybe things were being kept, information kept from you or somebody else, and it translated into deceit, and you wanted to walk away from this or let it go, didn't want to deal with it, and maybe you thought, you know, by not giving it energy, by not addressing the issue, that eventually things would just fade away, go away. But I think you realize that because you kept yourself out of the mix. Hermit in reverse can indicate isolation or ostracizing yourself from a group of people, or being ostracized, or just deciding to keep so much to yourself that it's almost ineffective. I mean, hermit mode is an effective state of being. You're going inward, you're seeking counsel, you're meditating on what went wrong or what you can do to fix things. If you're in the reverse hermit mode, this can indicate that you have almost kept to yourself too much, that you removed yourself from the situation to the point of it being detrimental to the situation rather than helpful. And I think you've come to realize that in this case, maybe you should have been a little more involved than you were. That at this point in time, there might be a lack of hope toward approaching an emotionally successful conclusion to the situation. I do feel like you have the sense that time's up, that you've dropped the ball, that it's too late now to come back into the situation to make things better, or to approach this person or people. Taking action will result in maybe a negative result, or whoever you are approaching or connecting with may feel like your offer is insincere, because you have just been out of the loop for so long. That's what I have so far, Aries. Let's get some more cards out here and see see what else we get. So for whatever reason, Aries, and your energy is the only one on the table so far. So you've got some thoughts in your head regarding a situation where you feel like maybe in the past you took the wrong route, you took the wrong path. You maybe felt like you were better off removing yourself, and you have since changed your mind, maybe because things have remained unresolved, or maybe because things didn't go your way. You may have thought that stepping away from the situation, everything would pan out, work out in your favor, and it hasn't. And now you want to get back into the situation, try to fix things, or try to steer things in the right direction. But you may feel like this has gone on too long, and it might be a little too late type of situation. So in your underlying energy, we have Death, clarifying the High Priestess in reverse. And the Tower in reverse is clarified by the Ten of Cups. So I think your motives were well-intentioned. I think that you wanted to act in a manner where you thought that everything would work out well for those involved, for any parties involved, if you stepped away from the situation and let it resolve itself. You may have been dealing with some manipulation, some deceit, and some lies in the past related to some close connections, some family members, a partner. This may have been a situation where there was possibly a new relationship that was being established, or something a little bit unfamiliar to you, and that it wasn't time, or you weren't prepared for it, or just were unsure about the situation. You felt like if you kind of stepped away from the matter, and ignoring the relationship for a while, or letting things go for a while, that it would resolve itself. I do feel like, we've got the Magician in reverse here, clarifying the Page of Cups. So I do feel like there was some kind of emotional manipulation. Maybe it feels like that to the people or person that you are dealing with, that because you stepped away from the situation, that instead of making it seem like you had everybody's best interest in mind, which I do believe you did have everybody's best interest in mind, and that's why you, instead of bulldozing through and making decisions for everybody and calling the shots like you might normally do in your King of Wands upright position. This is somebody who has leadership qualities, somebody people depend on to call the shots, somebody who takes action when action is needed, who does not shy away from doing what's right and taking the lead. But you're in the reverse, and I do feel, again, you stepped away from the situation, or instead of acting as the person who has all the answers, you removed yourself from that role in order for everybody to ultimately gain happiness out of this, but it backfired on you. Because those who are involved, or the person that you're talking about that is involved, the person that you're involved with, not talking about, the person that you're involved with, is a Six of Cups energy. This is soulmate energy. This is someone who's meant to be in your life, someone who's important, someone who's significant in your life. You realize that by taking yourself out of the situation, that it felt more like emotional manipulation to this person rather than you helping them, and ultimately resulted in a lack of hope, maybe for this relationship, either to get off the ground, or to continue, or to get established. If this is a relationship situation, that's what it feels like to me. This person may have, you may be in the dark now about where things stand. You may feel that you have been so removed from the situation at this point in time that you don't you no longer have access to the information maybe you once had regarding this relationship or situation that you're dealing with. And that all by itself is has you feeling defeated maybe, or feeling like you've failed in this endeavor. That and then taking action at this point in time would result in not what you're hoping for. Because if for whatever Aries, and remember, you can switch the roles, so you might be dealing with somebody who dipped out on you and their intentions were good, but you didn't realize it at the time, and the reason why they left the scene or haven't contacted you or have kind of kept their distance and their intentions, I believe, King of Wands, and I'm saying they because I'm talking to a cross-watcher right now. If you're in the other position of dealing with this King of Wands, I don't think that the intentions of this King of Wands were negative. I don't believe that there was emotional manipulation, intentional emotional manipulation, but that's what it feels like to the person on the receiving end of this situation. And now this King of Wands is feeling at a loss because this King of Wands is feeling like they don't necessarily have the ability to take a move now, make a move now, or time's up for them to do so. And probably because at this point in time there's been there might be some harbored resentment or distrust, not resentment so much as a feeling of distrust, or not feeling like an offer right now or making a move right now would be sincere, is what I'm getting. Okay, so we have the Hierophant clarifying the Seven of Cups. And the Chariot clarifying your energy, Aries, King of Wands in reverse. Seven of Cups in reverse again. Clarifying the Knight of Pentacles. The Star in the upright position, again, this is clarifying the Four of Pentacles. So you walking away from this situation, releasing this from your control, releasing this from your influence, you thought was the right thing to do, and would bring hope to the situation. But the hope has ended, and now it feels like there's just more waiting time, like you're stuck in this reverse hermit mode where you don't feel like you can even make a move. And the more I think you think about it, the more you realize that you were not listening to your intuition. You were not, because I think you knew from the start that you needed to maybe make things clear, Aries, or be a little bit more open or transparent about how you were feeling, or what your intentions were regarding the situation or relationship. Again, there's nobody else's energy on the table, so this could be a work situation, it could be a family situation, it could be friendships, it could be a romantic situation where you were getting to know somebody and there was maybe some stuff going on with this other person that needed to be resolved first, and maybe you stepped away from the situation realizing that your input or your presence may mess things up further, but in reality, you should have stayed involved, or at least been present, transparent, and clear about intentions or motives. So we have the Tower again, this time in the upright position. I'm going to get these cards out and then I'll show some of them to you. Knight of Pentacles in reverse, feeling very insecure about what has happened, whether or not you can fix the situation now that it There's the Hermit again in the upright. Okay, Aries, so you realize that it's time to bring an end to you not listening to your gut. Okay, that's number one. Because things have gotten messed up because you weren't listening to your gut. You weren't listening to your intuition. And things since have become clear. And what you realized was your intentions, you thought you were doing the right thing, but realize now that it resulted in a tower moment. And again, your intentions were good. You wanted everything to pan out for everybody. But as a result of you removing yourself from the situation or taking your influence away from the situation, it's resulted in stagnation, no movement at all. And ultimately, you feeling any sense of security that you may be able to come back into the situation, make things right. That's all in your underlying energy, Aries. Okay, so I do feel that in the past, when this all went down, that you felt removing yourself from the situation. Again, if this was you trying to establish some kind of relationship or make things something right within a relationship, whatever it was, removing yourself, thinking maybe it was temporary, I'll come back when the time is right. In the meantime, everything is going to work out for the best, because people will understand that there's good intentions. There's good intentions with what I've done, why I'm not present, why I am walking away from this situation. Letting it go, you thought would result in increased hope and balance, especially considering that I think there was maybe not deceit so much as omitted information. Let's call it, what's the opposite of transparency? Non-transparency? I just feel like there was information that was not understood, or you were not understood. Your intentions were not understood, Aries. And ultimately, it ended hope. Put an end to the hope. There was, I believe, maybe still is, because this is in the upright position, it's not reversed. There's still an opportunity on the table. This could indicate, again, this could indicate a job opportunity, a work situation. It could indicate a relationship or partnership. It could have something to do with finances, but it feels more than that. It feels like it could be romantic as well, or at least a connection, a love connection that at this point in time, it feels like maybe you don't feel emotionally manipulated, but the person that you're dealing with does, or potentially does. You may be faced with not knowing at this point in time what to do from here at this point, because you removed yourself from the situation so much you may feel almost like a stranger to the situation or this people or this person. That the amount of waiting, you've kind of been waiting for things to work out, waiting for things to transpire, and as a result become more and more secluded, become more and more ostracized from the situation, the people, or the group of people that are involved in this, and as a result has put you into some toxic energy, meaning you could be having negative self-talk, feeling very insecure, uncertain about where to go from here, feeling incapable. Because at this point in time, I feel like you're just mulling through your head all of the different things that may have gone wrong because you chose to walk away from this situation, remove yourself from this. So you're hanging on to realizing all the things that may have gone wrong, instead of putting energy into moving towards making things right. And I feel like you think that you have a lack of information or a lack of knowledge in order to move forward. That due to that, due to feeling like you're left out of the loop, now you don't know where this is going, and you don't have what you feel is sufficient enough information to move forward or take action. Sorry, I'm talking because I'm reading these cards and then I want to show you at the same time. So I'm putting them down, picking them back up. I can't make up my mind. Anyway, you feel like you have a lack of information at this point in time because you've been out of the loop for so long, away from the situation for so long, that if you take action, you will fail. And this does have to do with an emotional situation, a love situation, a connection of some sort with somebody or a group of people. Again, Aries, I do not have anybody else's energy on the table except for Six of Cups. So all I can tell you is whoever you're dealing with is significant in your life. This is a soulmate, someone who is meant to be in your life. This does not have to be a romantic partner. A Six of Cups energy just means this person has a soul contract with you, meant to be in your life in order to work through some lessons. This could be a karmic situation where you're meant to grow spiritually and have a clear understanding maybe of how to make things right where things went wrong. I don't feel like there's a lack of hope. I think you feel like there's a lack of hope, Aries. I think that this person's or these people, whoever you're dealing with, the energy is not present. Excuse me. The energy is not present because this person or these people that you're dealing with that you dipped out on, they feel like you're gone. They think you not only walked away from the situation but intended on staying away. I don't think that that was your intention. I think that you removed yourself from the situation because you didn't want to be seen as calling the shots, being the person who's controlling the situation. Maybe you felt like you were sticking your nose where it didn't belong. Do I want this one? I'm going to shuffle some more. I don't think that because you weren't totally clear about where you stood or what your intentions were when you did remove yourself from the situation, the person or people involved may not believe or may not understand or may not know that your intention was to come back into their lives or this person's life. So we have the Three of Water. This is a really nice card. This is a positive card, Aries. This one's going to give you hope. Now, this is my Dreams of Gaia deck. If you've been watching my channel, you know that this deck is new to me, and so I have been reading from the book. And I'm going to read this card from the book, even though I am somewhat familiar with it. And I think it's going to give you hope. In fact, I know it will. So do not despair, Aries. I know that this feels bleak right now, and I have to say the cards are looking like you're going through some inner turmoil, some conflict within yourself, maybe really kicking yourself for feeling like you've made some wrong moves in the past. But I do believe that there's hope. Okay, Three of Water. And it's not very long. It's a couple paragraphs. So I'll display the card so you can look at it while I read it. Here we go, Aries. The Three of Water represents satisfaction and indicates that you may have come to a time to rejoice in life and your success. She stands tall and confident with arms raised in victorious celebration. She has invested greatly in her creative endeavors and is well satisfied with her progress and accomplishments so far. She is positive and hopeful that her success will continue, and so she turns to greet the future with anticipation and excitement. This card is a positive affirmation and symbolizes the joyous potential for a rewarding outcome. It also signifies the importance of taking time to appreciate, celebrate, and enjoy yourself along the way. Look back and be proud of what you have accomplished. Do a little victory dance before turning once more to the future with a heart full of hope and a smile upon your lips. It is important to allow yourself these moments of joy and celebration and to remember them. So it almost doesn't feel like this card fits in with this reading at all, if I'm being honest. But pulling this card, and I said before, you've got a lot of feeling like, there's no hope. But mixed in with all of what feels like a big giant mess in your head, you want to end this feeling of a lack of hope and reach out for this new opportunity, which I think is on the table. But I do feel like you have to make a move and maybe ignore the fact that you feel like you've been ignoring your gut for a long time, that if you make a move that somehow it's not going to be successful for you. Because if you make a move and you choose to be transparent with the people that you're dealing with and say, hey, I fucked up. I didn't know that this is how it was going to turn out. My intentions were that I wanted everybody to be happy in the end. And I didn't dip out to ghost you or to make you feel bad or to leave my troubles behind so that everybody else could deal with them. Your intention was positive. So maybe your intuition was on track after all, Aries, and this whole thing was more about spiritual growth for yourself so that you would be ready for the relationships that await you and the opportunities that await you. So chin up, Aries. I have a positive feeling about this reading. I think that you're headed in for some positive surprises. I mean, this card kind of tells it all. So, take the time that you need to mull over what you feel like you need to mull over, but don't keep yourself into hermit mode too much longer. The devil energy is here to tell you that it's time to come out of this. And it's time to stop waiting and take some action and be forthright, honest, and transparent with people that you need to be. And I think everything's going to work out just fine. Okay, Aries, I hope that you got something out of this reading. I'm going to leave that there. I wish all the best for you, and I hope that you join me again soon. Take care. Bye.